All right, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? This is another SDGC recap of E3. Our days are winding down here at the event here in LA. But today we thought we'd sit down and talk about the games we really liked from Annapurna. Jay, do you want to talk about what games you were?
Yeah, so pretty much we went to E3 and it got super packed, so we escaped to the Microsoft theater because Microsoft's like doing like their own little like E3 thing called the Microsoft Experience. And they had 3 Annapurna games highlighted at the Microsoft theater, and they were Below, Outer Wilds, and Ashen. And yeah, they were all really good.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Microsoft kind of had them tucked away in their own corner, so they weren't getting a lot of attention. But that doesn't seem fair because those games were great. They're some of my favorites I played this week. My personal favorite is probably Outer Wilds. For those of you who don't know, it's a game that's been in development for about 3 years. It's made by a team of 13 people. The basics of the game are you are part of an alien species, and the developer pitch to me was it is national parks meets space exploration. But you have 20-minute lives. The universe is stuck in this loop where the whole universe gets reset every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you have to try to solve all these mysteries within 20 minutes. But what you collect goes on, and it can be a 20-hour affair, the developers told us.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a Majora's Mask and like No Man's Sky kind of thing combined together.
Yeah, absolutely. And
just not as complex as No Man's Sky.
Right, and there's a lot of like interesting AI characters around. It's a surprisingly systems-driven game where like you are responsible for a lot of stuff, and like a lot of it is learning through practice. Like you died from forgetting to put your spacesuit on, right?
Yeah, and the developer mentioned that like you forgot to put your suit on. I was like, oh, I thought I only needed my suit to like fly the airship.
Yeah, and so it's this really interesting thing. But basically, you're trying to understand this species and also understand what's got the universe in this loop. It's really interesting. They're aiming towards the end of the year, but keep an eye on it. Outer Wilds looks really sharp.
Yeah, I really like Outer Wilds. I wasn't even planning on playing it, then I saw you were like, yeah, like check out this game. This game's really cool, and I have to agree with you. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Right next to Outer Wilds though was Below.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't remember Below got announced in like 2013 when the Xbox One first got announced. It's kind of like a top-down, kind of like roguelike Dark Souls experience. It's very gothic, it's very mellow, it's very ambient, but I dug it. It's probably my favorite game I played at E3 this year.
Yeah, and so I was talking to the developer a little bit about this game when I played today, and it started as a 2D game, which some of you might remember from the original time it was announced. Since then, they've upgraded to 3D. It's taking advantage of 4K on the Xbox. They actually said that they learned a lot from the Zelda art style, and like a lot of it, they got this tall grass that blows in the wind. It's like Jay was saying, very ambient. But yeah, so for those who don't know, you've got an inventory, and like Dark Souls, when you die, you start back at the beach. But as you go through the game, you can unlock different shortcuts that kind of expedite that experience. But it's really good. So along with just trying to make it from point A to point B and find puzzles, you also have to manage some survival elements like hunger and thirst, which is kind of difficult. I actually found my character being hungry or thirsty kind of frequently.
Yeah, it was I think that aspect was definitely harder than like the combat itself. Like the combat's not, I mean, I thought it was pretty easy, you thought it was pretty easy, but like, I feel like being like dying of starvation and like dying of traps is a lot more riskier than like the combat itself.
Yeah, so there are a lot of traps that are set by the enemy that can kill you. Similarly to Outer Wilds, it's a lot of trial and error. But so when I asked the developer, how many enemy types are here, I think I saw 2 or 3 in my playthrough. He said there's 10 to 15, and he said that they're kind of scaling up and down, trying to figure out balance as they enter the final months. Now that game has obviously been in development for a long time. When I pressed him for a date that's a little more specific than 2018, he kind of hinted at we might see it before the big fall rush in September and October. So hopefully we'll see it in the next few months.
Yeah, it's definitely a day one purchase for me. I really enjoyed my time with it. And the last game, they actually had 2 booths of this, was Ashen.
Yeah.
Which, it's kind of like Fable, it's kind of like Dark Souls, all mixed together.
Yeah, so I think the biggest comparison is Dark Souls because it's like a stamina-driven fighting game. But the big differentiator here is that Ashen requires 2 players pretty much at all times. And so it is a co-op game that relies on Dark Souls type mechanics. They actually told me, like, if you're playing by yourself, there will be dungeons that you cannot enter with a second person. But they said the good news is, like Destiny, people will just show up in your world and they can help you. The good thing is there's no griefing. As far as I know, there are no PvP elements.
Yeah, I think it's just you work together and you fight enemies and you explore dungeons. It was kind of laid back when I played it. Like, yeah, like the main objective, you just like walk anywhere and like discover like little caves and stuff. Like, it's a stressful game because it's hard and you die quite often. But like,
Right, and the main pitch is I think there's just one in the game where it's a main hub city that you establish, and through gameplay you'll meet new companions and they'll kind of go to your town and become allies for you to rely on as you build up this kind of village. Do you want to talk about the art style a little bit?
Yeah, so it's kind of minimal. It doesn't really use any sharp colors. It's very neutral. It's all like gray, muted. Yeah, that's the better word to say. It's a lot of muted colors. And they don't really have faces. It's just kind of like their heads and their nose.
Yeah, it's weird, but there is a character creator that goes along with it.
Yeah, I just chose random character, and I got some guy with a beard and a ponytail.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing about that game is that it's coming out sooner than later, and it's also been around for a while. Oh, and another thing is that like Dark Souls, there's different weapons, different things that you like, consumables that you can take, and different armor sets. So it really is like a Dark Souls light that's dependent on co-op. It was a lot of fun, and it felt polished for being a smaller budget title.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's actually coming out on Game Pass when it comes out. So if you have Game Pass, you can just go ahead and download it, which I think is going to help out with like the whole co-op aspect of that game.
Right, and so everything that we have just talked about today is coming to Xbox and PC, and Outer Wilds specifically will come to other platforms, they said. And I'm not so sure about Ashen and Below, but keep an eye out. But yes, PC and Xbox at launch for all of those.
Yeah, like these 3 games are probably like the least crowded games that Microsoft experienced, but like they're the ones I had the most fun with.
Yeah, Annapurna's doing really well in this console space so far. It was some of our favorite stuff at E3.
Yeah, so we just wanted to like make this video to like highlight those games because I felt like they didn't really get that much exposure, and I feel like they deserve the exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Zach.
And this has been SDGC.